Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Better Together podcast. I'm your host, Mike Baker. This episode is going to be really fun. We are interviewing Nick Smoot with the Innovation Collective. All these podcasts, we end up having, powerful conversations, but today we're going to talk about magic, community building, and hope for the future. So stay tuned. I think you're going to really enjoy this conversation, and I'm so grateful for Nick for being on the show today. Enjoy. Nick, thanks for being here. I'm so excited about this conversation. It's been so fun just watching, I'm going to sound like an old man, but like watching you grow up and evolve in the community. I don't mean that in any other way. Like, it's just so cool to watch what you've done. I think when I first got here, you were starting with the Innovation Den downtown and just taking that building and converting it. And looking back at it now, and just seeing like the gift that has been for the community is just incredible. And we've had a chance to get to know each other. And so I'm super excited for the conversation. Thanks for being here today.
Me too. I'm excited. And I appreciate the perspective. I think in communities, we kind of have people as static characters, and getting to know somebody and watch someone grow in their leadership. I feel a lot of ways similar around your leadership and heritage and learning more about you. But man, I couldn't agree more. We have a city of growing leaders changing all the time.
It's fun, and I appreciate that you hit that long view of things. I think it's so interesting, in our society right now where everything is instant. That judgment just becomes like, okay, I either did something good or bad, and then it's like, whoosh, that thing defines you, and then you go back and you just you take that long view and say, every human we're working with is going through some process and evolving and growing and learning things. Like, I'm not the same person I am when I started here 17 years ago. No. But some people still have that version of me in there. Totally. And I hope that, I'm growing, that they're growing and doing that. So I think, that long view of community is just, it's impressive. So.
Well, and there's a quote, it's no man steps in the same river twice. Mm-hmm. And I think if you think about a day, it's like you cannot have the exact same day. Every 7 years, you completely slough off all of your cells. Like, you're a brand new bag of meat every 7 years. And the work you're in specifically is helping people transform their mind, their body, their health into something new. And when you start eating different, you start taking different medicines, you start waking up at different times, you're changing your physical body, you're changing your mindset, everything. So I think it's foolish of us to try and, trap people in a mindset of they're stuck there forever. Totally. A lot of grace for a lot of people.
A lot of grace. It's true. One of the first times I heard you speak, it just, I was just drawn in. Like, you have this conversation with people about just like the magic that you see in all of the things that you interact with. Talk to me about that magic that you see and like how that's starting to apply to the work that you're doing. And then, I
think at the baseline, it's the idea that, silly as it sounds, but this is magic. At the right moment, a glass bottle, plastic lid, the protein powder that used to be in here that's now like muddied, filtered water. That would have been in a certain moment in time, if you showed this to people, something they could not comprehend outside of the realm of possibility. And at some moment, either a random thing happened, like the creation of popsicles. I don't know if you know this, but that was where someone left them on the front porch, and then it got so cold that the soda water and the stir stick froze, and that's how we got popsicles.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But that's at some point.
That is magic right there.
Right. And now it's a whole industry built on the back of this accidental discovery of what you could do with soda water and the good old days of mixing soda water in a really cold winter, apparently. Or a freak summer day, I'm not sure. But we live in a world of magic, but we just accept it as normal. And we lose the wonder and the real curiosity. And if that happens to us, then we stop pushing the boundaries as well of what's possible. And so that's one side of the idea that we live in a world that's truly magic. Cell phones have more technology in them than the Apollo 11 lunar lander.
It's crazy.
It's pretty incredible. jump ahead, I also believe in this idea that we have trained humans to behave like machines, and through how we set up school to do task-based, factory-based work, which is very accurate, and that's continuing to fall apart and fail. Doesn't mean schools are bad, doesn't mean teachers are bad, but the system, how it was set up, is no longer in service of the direction where we're going as a culture. And so we need to stop training people to be machines and allow machines to be machines to do task-based work. And we need to move into an era where we teach people to be magicians again. And a magician,
Yeah, I love that.
it's a talk I worked out quite a few years ago to give at Washington State University. And the idea was these rules of magic. And there's a handful of them, but one is interpersonal communication. Knowing how to talk to people and listen to people truly is a very great skill to be a magician. And not a lot of people are great at interpersonal communication right now. The other one is authentic sense of self and knowing what you love. And not just saying, I love cars, but knowing, do you like the aesthetics of the cars? Do you like the modification? Do you like driving them? Do you like the smell? Do you like how they steer? Do you like what about it? Do you like the engine? Like what turns your crank? And really getting into that authentic you. That's a space, again, not a lot of people go and play hide and go seek with this deeper version of themselves and ask higher fidelity questions to know who they authentically are. And then it's problem solving skills. So treating the world as a puzzle and looking for all sorts of opportunities to improve little pieces around you every single day, and really honing that as a craft that you can be dropped into any problem and work out a solution. The final one is grit and being able to not give up on something easily. And when you mix those with your authentic sense of self, the grit, the interpersonal communication, the problem-solving skills, you start to go on this adventure down a sense of self and creating net new innovation. And if you harness those four, you're very dangerous in a world where most people don't know those things.
Yeah.
So you can move into becoming a magician and start to explore kind of the wizardry of the world that we actually live in, of making new things.
No, it's so cool. And I love that. Like, I see that in practice every time I interact with you. You know, when I go work down at the Innovation Den, like everything you've built is just about like bringing humans together and, you know, helping people elevate their thinking around it, right? I mean, you know, you and I talk sometimes, you're just like, Mike, think about it this way. You know, I mean, like you're injecting that lane and helping people see things differently. When I look at the mental health crisis that we see, you know, again, across the country, across the globe, whatever it is, like, I think people have lost that ability to think of themselves as being able to shape their future.
Yeah.
And, you know, as I've got to know you, like, I feel like that's one thing that you do such a good job at, like, helping people see it. It's like, look, we might be stuck here right now. This is the problem in front of us, but let's move out of the problem a little bit. Let's think about it differently, you know, or just, hey, I'm going to sit down with you and apply so you get that speaking gig that you were talking about, right?
Well, and a lot of times the problems in front of us are not as big as we think. Sometimes they are. But wildly, a lot of times problems resolve themselves that we overwhelm ourselves with. But you're absolutely right. I'm a huge fan of the idea that you make on average, people make 54,000 decisions in a day. So down to the hat I chose, the belt, the shoes, to what you eat, drink, everything's a little decision tree. You're in charge of every one.
Right.
Like, they're very Pavlovian, but at one point you made that for the first time. And you should go and audit those decisions. And then in that, realizing that the amount of freedom and agency you have over your life, you could wear eyeliner for fun tomorrow and a big red nose. Like, nothing stops you. So I do think we've gotten pulled into a culture where, you know, not only economically, we forgot that we can actually use our side hustle time on the weekends to go in our garages and be a little creative and try something. And it doesn't have to work out. We can put in that effort and keep cycling on it and find the joy in that. And it might turn into a 9-figure business. We have multiple in the building that have quite literally been born downtown Coeur d'Alene that people don't even know about.
That's so cool.
Like multiple $100 million plus companies sitting in that building that were born there. And they started because of that whimsy and creativity and side hustle and playfulness. And And on the mental health side, same thing. I've always wanted someone to create a card game where you get to draw a name, a stereotype, and like a life moment that just happened to you. And then from there, you all have to go to a thrift store and go dress for that character, and then go to another town and just go hit the town for the night. And you have to live out that person, like the emotive energy, everything about it. And you're that person for the next, 12 hours or a dinner party style thing with some buddies, simply to help you understand it's just you choosing the character you want to live out today. You're not stuck in this. This is a story you tell yourself. You are the story of Mike Baker.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that. So you grew up here in Coeur d'Alene. I mean, you've got all this background here.
Born and raised.
That long view again, like looking at Coeur d'Alene from when you were a kid to now, what are the things that you've seen that have just like helped shape this community into what it is, good and bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some challenges, but what are those things that you've seen that have been consistent in the long view that maybe some people new to the community might miss?
Yeah. I would say generous business community. A lot of people love to hate Duane Hagadone, but if you actually look at his investment into downtown in the 80s, that was irrational.
Huge, yeah.
Not only huge, but irrational. Like he could have done Hawaii, he could have done Malibu, he could have done all these other places, but he picked Coeur d'Alene. And the economic impact and just watching it come alive, I think is one to me that whenever anyone wants to hate on him, I'm like, man, you're missing the script. You don't know about him literally wearing holes in his jeans, begging at banks, like going from bank to bank to bank to build this dream. Other one is other people like Scott Reed.
Yeah.
That a lot of people walk past that little plaque on Tubbs Hill, but don't ever know. They don't take the time to know the story. And if you read the plaque, you don't know the man.
Yeah.
But the reason why Tubbs Hill is there is because of a guy like Scott, who was an attorney who fought for that. Also participated in kind of a group that helped push, the Aryans out of the community, and it's that, I guess it's that legacy of leaders thinking of the long game of how they want to build the city in a way that reflects their deeper values.
Yeah.
And doing it in a collaborative way, not through just a chamber or just a rotary, but over dinner tables in people's living rooms, friends talking about it, but then taking action, not just daydreaming or whining and complaining, but mobilizing. So there's a deep history of that here, for sure. And failures along the way of a lot of these great leaders everyone sees today that have had fits and starts. And that's great. I think
it's good for people to see that.
Yeah. We're in the midst of one of our members down at the Den wants to launch an event called Failure Fest.
Oh, I love that.
Yep. And so it's going to be a festival of showcasing some of the greatest failures. And I think we're going to go pretty big on this one.
That's pretty cool.
Like Magic Leap, things like that are globally known failures. Bring in the founders, do talks, but then have a local like run through an idea, test it over the weekend, and then talk about why it won't work. Like give it a shot. So
that's cool.
I think that's part of it. The other one is I don't know how to describe it. You talk with a lot of the nonprofits. You're in the space of kind of care in the community, but there's a moral, conservative, loving framework that I do believe has a strong root here in the community, which can come together and do great things, and do great things like move the Aryans out of the community, do great things like stand up for a vision and go build McEwen Park, and then have the mayor recalled.
Croc Center, right?
Yeah, but have the mayor recalled. People don't know this, right? Like that when McEwen Park was established, a net majority of the community was like, "This is sacrilege! You're stealing our baseball fields." Yeah, no hate on the baseball field.
It's a cool baseball field. Yeah,
it was. I played baseball there.
Yeah,
but that park now, along with the boardwalk, along with the city beach, and it's like, dude, there's a vision and a moral action, I guess, against an ideal, and people take action in this community. They don't wait for somebody else.
Yep.
I think, curation and caretaking. I don't know which word to pick. I do think about a lot of people know Pepper Smock, just as kind of a businessman, philanthropist, but that man owns more dirt and buildings in this community that he is just sitting on because he loves the town. He could sell them all and just never be seen again.
Yeah.
And go float away in a hot air balloon and 1,000 private jets. But instead, he sits on them and doesn't realize the value for himself. He holds it because he loves. And I think there's a deep lesson in that.
It's
for the business community.
These founders, right, of our community. I mean, I look at, the Parkwood business property folks. I mean, just like these people that have just put their heart on the line and invested in the community. And then I look at the generation coming up after that. So I include myself in that generation, right? Like I feel this deep weight, and I know you do too, to continue to be a caretaker of the community. And I didn't grow up here, been here 17 years. I love this community. And I look at it and say, okay, in my lane of, working at Heritage Health, this started with a crazy idea, somebody that didn't give up. They had grit. They had the magic of their own to kind of get this thing going. And I feel this weight to keep it going. I know that you see that in, so many people in this community. I worry about, even people a little younger than us, like, how do you continue to instill that, right? Like, this community will always be great. It's also going to fight with you. It's like a big family. Like, some days we don't disagree, and political stuff gets a little wild and intense sometimes, but at the end of the day, we may fight online, but you show up at the grocery store, the baseball game, whatever it is, that probably happens. I don't know about it, but I think it's pretty rare that somebody breaks into a fist fight over who you voted for at the baseball game. You're there because your kids are there, you're engaged in community. And I wish people would remember that more often. Right. And you talk about it, like, just social media is a tool, it's a thing, but it will consume your life. And you have to get in front of people and, be human and be real and kind of build. And I think that's I hope we don't lose that, as a community. And I know you're fighting really hard for that. So.
Yeah, I think that comes down to demonstration and or incentives. And, on the demonstration side, I think it's on us as leaders and parents as leaders and teachers as leaders to really set a tone of people like us do things like this. It's a phrase from Seth Godin. He's a really brilliant podcaster, thinker on storytelling and marketing that I've quite literally followed since my 20s. I've been emailing with him since then. And I'm 43 now, and that phrase has stuck with me because it's a mirror, but it shows people, like, the moves first and then lets them try it in the mirror. And we need to help people understand, how do you contribute to our community in a meaningful way? And if we're not setting that cadence and that expectation and the model for them publicly, how foolish of us to think that they will do it privately. They won't, because they have Netflix, they have YouTube, they have video games, they have all these other things that compete for their attention. And so you got to set the standard that says people like us do things like this. The other one is on the incentive side. Selfish plug. I've been building a software game for the last 3 years, just simply to highlight the opportunity to build your community and to contribute your value and receive value back for it. So it's called Build Cities, buildcities.com.
Yep. No, I'm excited. I wanted to jump into it. So it's a great segue.
And we have on that platform right now, we have $44.5 million on there. And it's for people to take specific actions to contribute to their cities. And some of it's from different investment funds, some of it's from private investors, some of it's from philanthropists, and it can be grants, it can be any mix of it. But your job as a player is to declare your city, create your profile with your skills and your projects, create a little network of people that you get together with, maybe events, what have you, but everyone has their projects. And on the other side of the marketplace is the incentive stack. And so this is where donors and philanthropists can do direct grants to have people take action within the community. You can take government dollars, SBA dollars, and mobilize the people of a town to do certain behaviors and actions. That arguably is the lesser belief in humanity, just put up the money
Yeah.
and the incentive and watch them dance.
Right.
But to be blunt, we're fighting a losing battle with the incentives.
Sure.
We're fatter, crazier, sadder, more unhealthy than we've ever been, and more sedentary and staring at more blue light. And so I felt a need to create the counterbalance to that, to where how do you create a real world lotto ticket, in essence, that puts you into relationship, taking action on things you believe in, and learning new skills in community, in hopes that you can unlock a $10,000 or a $3 million payment.
I mean, it's cool. And like, it's been really fun. I mean, so, I get the emails, and then, Nick's like, hey, you got to come listen to this guy. I mean, Nick's bringing in these incredible people to come talk in community, talk about their experiences, and everybody has access to connect to this thing. And like the build framework that you've got there, you and I talked before, and I just said, like, your energy is going to outlive you because you're putting it into these tools, right? I mean, the tools have your heart and soul in it, and it's all about just bringing people together. How do people engage with Build, and what does that look like? Because I think everybody should go sign up, like go learn about it, be part of it, get on the list. You're going to get invited to events that make sense for you. Yeah. And then it's that extra pull to say, all right, instead of just sitting home and watching Netflix today, we're going to go out, we're going to do something that maybe is out of your comfort zone, but you might meet just like an inspirational person. You might meet a new friend. You might find someone you don't like, and learn that it's okay to not, agree on everything, but still be civil. So how do people engage with it?
A couple ways. Maybe on the podcast, we can drop a couple links below, and people can click on those. But on one of the easiest ones, most people know about Innovation Collective. That's kind of the backbone that we started with, and that's more of a design consulting firm. But we've done work in 17 states, 3 countries, working with governments and philanthropists on designing economies. If you go there, there's links to both Udeos, which is the AI software that you can just talk to after you've created your profile, and then it pulls all of the data of the city you're in, and it's an AI just for that town, looking at all the grants, the people, the skills, the events, the video classes, everything else, and then creates a case for you to follow. So it says, hey, here's your next step on your project, person you should meet, they have the skill, connect with them. It's all pretty straightforward. The other one is just buildcities.com. And if you go to Build Cities, first action would be in your onboarding is you load a project or a skill and join Coeur d'Alene and look around a little bit, and you'll notice the hundreds of people, the hundreds of projects. You can search and ask questions in the search bar above, or use Udeos. I prefer Udeos because you can ask it open-ended questions and then understand your context. But come to an event, join Coeur d'Alene, look at the challenges, the hubs. If you have a co-working space or if you have a community space, you can load them as hubs on there as well. People can join in there. You can load your own events on there, and that all feeds into that citywide artificial intelligence system. But yeah, that's the easiest way. We're getting ready to put another few $1,000s on the platform as grants that will be around people's ideas, and it'll show you how you can unlock those grants for your project. It doesn't go to nonprofits. We just give them to business ideas, and we take no debt, we take no equity. It's just kind of fun to throw cash at people to go chase their dream. But you have to be on the platform. You have to be connected with people.
It's so cool. I mean, again, I don't think people wow, that was a good explanation. You're not going to understand what it is until you're part of it.
Right.
And
think of it like Pokemon Go.
You do.
I mean, people have played Pokemon Go. One of my co-founders is number 2 at creating Pokemon Go. And so we've been very thoughtful about how to create a game that instead of chasing fake characters through a city,
you might meet a cool person.
You actually take your phone and you say, I love this thing. I want to build this thing. And then your phone's like, oh, hey, Nick, stop being an idiot and maybe go to this event that has these people that have this skill that you need. And this person's giving out grants for that specific thing. Load your project there and unlock a small payment.
Yeah.
And so then it gets you to take that next action. In the same way that it has in gaming, they have these things called compulsion loops that compel you to do addictive behaviors. And there's a casino outside of Vegas. Some people know this, some people don't. But the casino is actually run by all the major tech companies and all the major gaming companies. It's private. You can't get into it. And all it's doing is designing the next generation of addiction. So Meta, Microsoft, they're all doing it.
Right.
And, you know, that's the compulsion. We've developed what's called propulsion loops. And this came from Flint Dilley, guy who helped write Five Will Goes West, Chronicles of Riddick, Perfect Dark, all these different video games and movies. But he helped me understand the idea of propulsion loops that get you to do these positive loops in a community and take action. So that really is at its core.
I think that framework's so important. Like,
show up and contribute the best.
Forward. Like, I mean, you have two paths. Like, you can, fall into that. Just the world's controlling me, and I'm going to do this thing because I'm addicted and I'm lost, stuck on social media, and
sucks.
Like, the world's this way. Or, like, you know, the platform there. It's like, no, and I love the propulsion, right? Let's do something. Let's engage. Let's be a part of it.
Use this thing as a tool, not a weapon against you. And you're absolutely right. Like, people could choose to do nothing and be like, man, the world sucks and it's against me. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That is an unfortunate way to view the world. That is your choice to view the world that way and to live in that. And you can also, you know, go climb a tree if you wanted. That's another choice.
It's really fun.
The world is your oyster. Have fun.
Yeah.
Or you can use tools that have been designed to connect you to people, projects, and the place you call home, so that you can give of your best self and chase something bigger than you and find joy again. And I do think a lot of the disease of the world, a lot of the mental health and physical health, and hear me out, I think there's things that are definitely off, but a lot of it is a disease of consumption. Consumption of content, consumption of storytelling loops in your own head, consumption of TV, social media, consumption of, you know, garbage TV, and then you choose garbage bedtimes, and then you choose garbage beverages, and you choose garbage food. And some of it is, yes, you have a short end of the stick financially and economically, and so you choose the cheaper option, which is sometimes just garbage. And I'm trying not to cuss because I'm really pissed off. And then you end up in this like really bad end of the pool, just garbage all around you. It's like, but no. You can actually get out of that, but it takes patterns. It's pattern changes. You can't take a pill to cure depression, period. And like, I'm not saying get off your pills,
Right.
but quite literally, clinically, yes, your chemistry is off, probably because you don't go to bed at the right time, probably because you drink the wrong things, you eat the wrong things, you consume the wrong content, so it drives the wrong thoughts, and you're in this like nightmare loop. You might need counseling, you might need pills to kickstart it, but the one thing that has to change is patterns.
Yep.
Because patterns are the one thing that will truly unlock the chemistry change, and this alchemy can start to happen in you again to where you can have agency over your life. And you can go build things you love, and you can find joy of doing the hard work because you need to spend yourself on creating something you love. Because if you don't spend yourself as an offering, as a gift, you just sit there and you rot and you consume more and you just rot and you have so much to give. And it's like, but you got to go give it. You got to go ship it. Go give yourself to your city.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, it's that wasted potential, you know? And so Brene Brown has an analogy, but it talks about the person down in the hole, right? And it's really easy to be like, oh, poor you're in the hole. Sometimes when you're in the hole, you just kind of need somebody that's willing to either climb down there and sit with you for a minute and then help you out. And again, I think that's what these tools are doing. It's like, look, I think we all understand, like, life can be hard. We can be in that. We can find ourselves in that hole, in that dark place. It's hard to make that next step that's positive. But when you have somebody around you, when you're exposed, again, to something better that just shines a little bit of light, it's like, look, give me just a little bit of hope. Like, if you don't have enough hope, I always say, borrow mine. You know, like, I'll share that with you. And, like, we can help you. Just let's take one step today. Yeah. You might go back to the hole tomorrow, but then I'll check back on you, and we might take 2 steps out of the hole, and you're going to get there. But you start to, like, even just that shift you see in people, like, their whole persona starts to change when they believe that the future can be better.
Totally.
And they have that energy to work on it. One of the last things I wanted to talk about with this, and I think it kind of ties it all together, but you know, we talk a lot about AI and what's happening. And again, I think we're at that spot again where there's a path ahead. Like, we have lots of movies that tell us what the future looks like. It can either be really terrible and the robots take over and humans are just in a really bad place. Or I like Star Trek a little bit. You're like, okay, we embrace technology. We learn how to like use it, do cool
World of
things
abundance.
with it. You recognize that, like, look, all these aliens, we're all the same thing and we're doing cool stuff. Like, I think that's the path in front of us. You talk a lot about that. How does a young person now that is worried about the environmental impacts of AI, look, jobs are going to shift, like things will change as these tools evolve.
Totally.
How do you frame that for people so that they can see maybe a better future instead of, what's happening?
Yeah. First and foremost, I think helping people understand you're in a window of time where it's more incredible to build things and easier to build things and cheaper to build things than ever in the history of the world.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Like the time from idea to creating something is so small. It's a matter of, are you willing to lean in and swing at it and see what happens? Like maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. So that's number one. Like we are literally in a time of magic. I challenged my sons a few weekends ago to build a software platform for themselves that met a need that they had, and then it could function for one full day, and they had to use it. And then whoever did it first got $100. And they both started out going like, Dad, we haven't written code in a long time.
Yeah.
And like all these things, like, guys, the world's changed.
You don't need to write
You don't
code.
understand how different it is now. And I want to introduce you to some of these net new tools. So we created a whole menu for things for them to do. Less than 2 days. And my son created an app that he can load what he wants to eat. It uses GPS and search and drags all the local vendors in Coeur d'Alene, compiles a shopping list and where to go and what aisles they're on, as if it has the data.
Yeah.
Wild.
That's
He's
so
13.
Cool. Yeah.
And so I think that's one thing is go play. Go play with the tools. Quit being that person who's like, oh, it's all evil. Go play with them and build something. It's evil because you use it for slop. Go build something great. Next thing I would say is coming back to those rules of magic, really lean into being able to articulate and talk with others, listen well, solve problems, solve lots of problems, fall in love with a problem. That really means a lot to you. And know that problem that you want the world to experience the solution to it or to avoid that problem. And then from that space, create thousands of products, pieces of art, Mike, a painting, a film, a song, a company, a software platform, a piece of hardware, a new patent. Those aren't independent things. Those should be tied to a deeper calling, your zone of creation that's trying to solve one or two core problems. Those are what I would refer to as your calling. A lot of times people mistake a calling with a company. The calling should be that lifelong quest to solve that one thing that will be unsolvable. Yeah. Because that's where the joy is. Right. And then it's about each iteration and little swing that you take to try and create that thing that ties back to that. So the incredible thing about work now is it's moving in that direction. Now, if you're looking to get the payday from a company and like a normalized job, what I would be looking at is the space where companies have innovation roadmaps and research and development needs. You should be trying to solve some of those problems out here and figuring out how to use your mind and creativity to go apply to their hard problem statements. I think we're going to go through a cycle. I don't know if we end up with some form of a universal basic income. It makes me kind of repulsed. I love the idea of a project-based incentive where everyone has something they're contributing to their community that the market needs done, taking action on it and unlocking a stipend payment, and they own the IP of what they create. But for young people, I would argue, know the soft skills and know yourself. Like know what you really love, and then try a lot of things, and take the risk. My 15-year-old wants to be in behavioral psychology. I don't know if he's going to go to college. I don't know if that'll be a licensed profession. Yeah. I mean, quite literally.
Like we don't know what's ahead.
5 years from now. I know right now they're going after codes for therapy for AI, so that you'll be able to bill out against insurance for AI that runs codes. This is happening in DC right now with lobbying groups. It's incredible. People say that's evil and awful. Well, how about all the people who live in border states or border communities?
That access, right?
Thank you.
Can't
and it's like a supplemental thing where you can have a great model that's managed by the clinicians at Heritage Health.
Yep.
So, but my son, I've got him off to go do an internship coming up with a board member at the APA, who's a legendary psychologist in sports psychology. He's working on a new way to address trauma, and he's going to go carry the guy's bag for a month.
That's
Just
cool.
get near the fire.
Yep.
If you love something, get near the fire. If you're a young person, meaning be close to what you love. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think you have to engage in it. And I think it's fair to say, look, we've asked, or large companies have asked us to trust them for a long time, and look, we've been let down lots of times. I think the other side of it is like we have to engage in these problems. I look at people that just go, okay, I'm not going to use it. There are some really hard, challenging things about it, but also, man, okay, that's the problem then we need to solve. So how do we have these things run efficiently, not consume water, like do all the things that are the problems, but like, let's use the tool then to help solve the problem. And then I look at that in the healthcare lane, like, at Heritage Health, again, we're trying to hire enough doctors to take care of everybody. There are functions and processes within the healthcare system that, look, I don't think any humans should spend their life doing some of those things. Like, can you retrain people, bring them into it, have cleaner systems that run? Because no matter what the tool does, like the human side of it is what brings the magic to it, right? It's how we use those tools. And I think, again, here at Heritage, like that's our big focus. Like we're going to use these tools, but we can't lose the humanity inside of it. And I feel like that's your whole platform. It's like, let's bring humans together, let's solve hard problems and have fun while we do it.
Yeah,
right?
solve hard problems that mean a lot to you. It mean a lot to your community and it mean a lot to the marketplace. And that pattern match is the magic where we've had this vacuum of that dialogue where it's almost as if only the leaders of a town had the luxury of time to talk about those things.
Yeah.
And everyone else was like, just go do the work. No. Game over. You're invited to the table.
Yep.
Like, come play that game with us now. And that's the core of Build Cities is like, we're going to put all those problems on there. And so let's work together to surface those and solve them together. The future of work is that collaborative problem solving at the intersection of yourself with what you love and with what your community needs. And then showing up and connecting with your neighbors and building with your neighbors should build better friendships, should make you happier because you're doing things that are hard. And you should have a more beautiful city where you're creating and contributing to it versus just sitting back and kind of hungry hippoing your way through life.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm an optimist. I believe the future is going to be better as we go through 100%. That. I'd say that because I know I'm going to put the work into it. But how do you, 10 years from now, like, do you have hope that the future's better than today?
Yeah. I have hope for myself. I don't necessarily have hope for everybody else. And that's not from a place of elitism. That's from a place of, I'm going to work like hell to make sure my life is awesome. And I'm going to always, when I run up against a wall, I'm going to find a way around it or go through it. And so that's a choice. And that might sound rude to say it that way, but it's like, if you think the world's going to be worse, guess what? It probably will be for you.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say that.
Yeah.
And, when I think about the data centers and water consumption, energy consumption, they're working so hard to make those net neutral or net positive and having it contained. They're doing it right now. There's a company in Idaho, a high school dropout, who is the first company in the history of the world to split the atom and create electricity from nuclear energy. It's a private company. They've never done this. Dude from Moscow.
Yeah.
It's an incredible story.
It's crazy.
And these are the things powering these data centers now.
Right.
He's partnered with NVIDIA. This kid's ripping. Went from a company that was worth nothing to over $1 billion in less than a year and a half. And they were raising capital in Coeur d'Alene and no one knew about it. And so when I say the world's getting better,
right.
And I think a data center now consumes roughly the amount of water of like 2 Carl's Jr.'s. And it's like, they're pretty awesome. So my real core belief on the future of how it's going to be better and more positive really is, do we continue to show up in a way where we contribute things we believe in and love? There are some bigger pieces that need to be addressed around how we build companies, how we manage welfare and entitlements in a way that expects people to show up, but also ensures there's a great safety net. And that safety net should act like a trampoline for people to build projects and to contribute to their city, not just keep them in a place of kind of treading water.
Yeah.
And that is a whole restructure. That is underway. On both parties are working on it. And so do I trust them to do it perfect? No. Do I trust that I'm going to keep showing up and get around the walls? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to lock arms with our neighbors and encourage them to do the same. And we all need to weeble wobble our way towards the finish line of whatever that looks like and build the Emerald City. And that, I guess, for our town, for Coeur d'Alene, for North Idaho, that's kind of on you, the listener, to choose to show up with your neighbor. And if you're short on hope, Mike said you could borrow his.
Right,
So
we got some. We'll
come
share.
borrow Mike's, and I'll lend you some of mine. We have hundreds of free events per year at the Den. People are welcome to show up, and all are welcome. And when I say all are welcome, I mean all are welcome, 100%.
It truly is magic. Nick, thanks for your investment in the community. Just thanks for being you, and thanks for being a good friend. I appreciate it. Like, it's just been so much fun. I can't wait to see what the next 5 years bring for all of us as we just bring people with us, right? Like, come on, like I'm in the hole. I'll come down with you. Like, we're going to do our thing to bring everybody with us, but you do have to decide to join us. Like, I can't drag you all the way out of the hole. We're going to get there. So thank you. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. And the love, care, and magic that we're in, speaking of health, what an incredible time, man. And you're a great leader for this space because you do love where it's going, but you're also willing to get in the hole of people. And so I'm honored to be here and to run alongside you too.
Oh, thank you. This has been so much fun. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. We'll see you next week. Make sure you go check out the show notes, jump in there, and go build some magic. All right.